Meta description. Were those strange seconds just a coincidence? Or is there a hidden detail everyone missed? Why are fans replaying the footage again and again? And what truth might be hiding in plain sight? Stay until the end and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as we uncover a moment that refuses to be forgotten. What if the moment everyone almost ignored was actually the most important one? What if the detail that seemed insignificant at first is the very thing that changes how everything is understood? And what if the reason people can't stop replaying it is because something about it doesn't feel accidental at all? Before you move on, take a second. Did you really see it clearly? Or did you only think you did? Because what happened in those brief seconds involving Jungkook is no longer just a passing moment. It has become something people are questioning, analyzing, and quietly debating. First, it looked like nothing. Just another clip. Another captured second in a long sequence of moments that come and go without much attention. The kind of footage that blends into everything else, unnoticed, unexamined. But then someone paused it. Someone looked closer. And that's when everything began to change. Because hidden within those seconds was something that didn't quite align with what people expected to see. Not something obvious, not something that demanded immediate attention, but something subtle enough to be missed, yet strong enough to create a feeling that something was off. A detail. Small. Almost invisible. But once noticed, impossible to forget. That is how it began. Not with a clear discovery, but with a question. And questions, when they are shared, have a way of growing. People started replaying the clip. Again. And again. Each time looking for the same thing. Each time trying to understand what exactly made that moment feel different. At first, the answers were uncertain. Some dismissed it as coincidence, a natural variation in expression or timing. But others weren't so sure. Because the more they watched, the more consistent that feeling became. Something didn't match. Something didn't fit. And that feeling refused to fade. This is where the story shifts from observation to curiosity. Because once a detail is noticed, it cannot be unseen. It becomes part of how the entire moment is interpreted. It changes perspective, alters understanding, and creates a new layer of meaning that wasn't there before. And in this case, that detail became the center of everything. There is something about the way the moment unfolds, something in the timing, in the expression, in the subtle shift that happens almost too quickly to catch. It is not exaggerated. It is not dramatic. But it carries a presence that feels out of place within the flow of everything else. A pause that lingers just slightly longer. A look that seems to hold something beyond what is visible. A movement that feels just a fraction different from what is expected. These are not definitive signs. They are impressions. But when impressions are shared by many, they begin to feel significant. Because it is not just one person noticing. It is many. Across different perspectives, different interpretations, all arriving at the same uncertain conclusion. Something was there. And it wasn't random. There is also the element of timing. Because the moment did not stand out immediately. It only became noticeable after repeated viewing, after careful observation, after attention was directed towards something that would have otherwise remained hidden. And that delay makes it even more intriguing. Because it suggests that what was missed was not obvious. It was subtle, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be noticed. And once it changed everything. The conversation grew. More people began to watch. More opinions were shared. More interpretations were formed. But the core of the story remained the same. A small detail. A feeling that something about it was not entirely coincidental. There is also a deeper layer to consider. Because not every unusual moment carries meaning. Sometimes what appears strange is simply the result of timing, perspective, or coincidence. But what makes this moment different is not just what is seen. It is how it is felt. Because the feeling remains consistent. Cross different viewers. Cross different interpretations. That consistency is what gives the moment its weight, because it suggests that something real is being perceived, even if it cannot be fully explained. And that is what keeps the story alive. Not clarity, not confirmation, but the persistence of a question that refuses to disappear. Was it coincidence? Or something more? That question does not have a clear answer, and perhaps it never will, because the truth behind moments like this is not always accessible. It exists in a space between visibility and interpretation, between what can be proven and what can only be felt. And within that space, meaning is not fixed. It is explored. It evolves. It continues to shift as new perspectives are added. As time passes, the intensity of the conversation may change. Some may move on. Others may continue to analyze. But the moment itself will remain unchanged. A fragment of time captured on camera, carrying a sense of mystery that cannot be fully resolved. And maybe that is what gives it its lasting impact. Not the answers it provides, but the questions it continues to create. Because sometimes the most powerful moments are not the ones that are fully understood, but the ones that remain open, inviting reflection, curiosity, and endless interpretation. So if you've watched it, if you've replayed those seconds, if you felt that quiet sense that something was hidden within them, then you are part of this story. Not because you know what happened, but because you noticed that something did. And sometimes, noticing is enough to change everything. And as more eyes return to those same seconds, something even more intriguing begins to unfold. The detail that was once missed is no longer hidden, yet it still refuses to be fully understood. It sits there in plain sight, unchanged, yet somehow different every time it is seen again. And that is what makes the moment involving Jungkook so difficult to define. Because now, people are not just noticing the detail, they are questioning what it means. At first, the discovery of that subtle element felt like a breakthrough, as if something previously invisible had finally been uncovered. But instead of bringing clarity, it created even more uncertainty. Because once the detail is seen, it raises a new set of questions that are even harder to answer. Why was it missed in the first place? Why does it feel significant now? And most importantly, why does it continue to feel different every time it is watched? There is something almost paradoxical about this moment. The more clearly it is seen, the less clearly it is understood. The detail itself does not change, but the perception of it does. It shifts depending on how it is viewed, when it is viewed, and what the viewer is expecting to see. And that shifting perception keeps the moment alive, because it prevents it from becoming something fixed. It remains open, unresolved, a fragment of time that continues to evolve through interpretation rather than explanation. There is also a growing awareness that the power of the moment does not come from the detail alone, but from the contrast it creates. Because everything around it feels familiar, expected, consistent, and then, within that familiarity, there is something that breaks the pattern. Something small, but noticeable. And when something disrupts a pattern, even slightly, it draws attention in a way that feels almost instinctive. People may not know why it stands out, but they feel that it does. And that feeling becomes the foundation of the entire discussion. Because once attention is drawn to a difference, it cannot easily be ignored again. It becomes part of how the entire moment is experienced.